We begin with our group a few days after the club explosion, now at Twist Mountain. Now we learn nothing major happens here. The group train to a hill takes some photos of their Pokemon, and they occasionally get lost, but eventually they make their way out and continue to their next location. They then arrive in a Stilby town and decide to spend the night at its Pokemon Battle Club, where they see a battle between a trainer named Jack with his Durant, Whimsicott, and Golett versus a trainer named William with a Seismitoad, Jellicent, and Samurai, which makes Ash call out his Oshawott, whom he names three Pokemon the Water Warriors. And according to John George, William's a skilled, undefeated trainer here. You know, here anyway, and the Water Warriors easily overpower their opponents and get his Pokemon. The two then thank each other for the battle as Jack leaves. And William then tells the audience and John George he plans to have a battle here tomorrow, and asks anyone would like to be his opponent. Oswald grabs Ash's arm, pulling into the battlefield. Ash already reading the room, and goes up to William and says he'll take him on with his team of Oshawott, Pikachu, and Leavanny. William then asks his Pokemon they're up for, and while Jensen and Seismitoad say yes, Samurott is a bit hesitated about his pre-stage evolution. Or first stage evolution, sorry. But he agrees to see the fire in Oshawott's eyes. With that, William accepts Ash's challenge and leaves, saying he looks forward to their battle. And yes, although it might be obvious, this is my alternate version of the episode Evolution by Fire, just with no abandoned star or no harsh and rude trainer. And anyway, Ash starts to train with the trio in the gymnasium and sees Oshawott training intensely. During a break, Ash asks Oshawott if something's bothering him, and Oshawott explains in the best way he can, and that his fellow teammates, whether it was through an evolution or a gym, have all achieved some kind. When even his fellow stars from Sharon and Bianca have evolved him. And while he's happy for that, he feels like he's a bit inadequate compared to Ash comforts him, saying that he has wins like the rest of them, recounting him winning the rematch against Lenore and the Deposit Town Battle Club. We leave Annie and Pikachu agreeing, explaining that losing battles allows both trainer and Pokemon to get stronger, while also that all the Pokemon play a part in winning a gym battle. And Ash says that he'll prove Oshawott's strength in a true Lamar with Pikachu and leave Annie. In touch with his support, Oshawott thanks him and is more fired up for the battle. The next day, Don George welcomes Ash and William to the battlefield with their Pokemon, and the battle begins. Things are pretty even on both sides, as both are pretty skilled trainers. However, William has more true battle experience than Ash. Ash and his Pokemon know moves that counter weaknesses, especially Leavanny struggling to the Seismitoad's use of the move Sludge Wave. Pikachu and Oshawott do manage to dodge this, but Leavanny ends up getting poisoned. Distracted, Jellicent lands a water pulse on Pikachu, which confuses him. Samurai tries to land a Mega Horn on Oshawott, but he thankfully dodges. Oshawott is now in a tough spot with his partners confused and poisoned. Pikachu can't aim its attack straight, and Leavanny slows down completely. Oshawott begins to worry, thinking they'll lose, but Ash speaks to him, telling him that they can do this. He tells Oshawott to run, but Pikachu accidentally goes for Thunderbolt, and man, Ash hopes for this though. As the mover aims towards Oshawott, but Oshawott grabs Samurott's horn. Excuse me, sorry. Or in the rope, and makes it look and jumps away, and making the Thunderbolt hit Samurott. He remembers Ash's words during training. With all of his might, evolves into Duat. Determined and more confident and skilled, and even using a double razor shell to snap Pikachu out of his confusion. Then Leavanny even activates its swarm ability, and Ash sees his chance. And Ash has Leavanny trap everyone with a string shot and then go for a triple combo with Leaf Storm and Thunderbolt and Duat's new move, Water Pledge, doing great damage. With all of them weak, Ash's Pikachu and Leavanny and give Duat a boost, allowing him to end the battle with Razor Shell, knocking all three of them out, making Duat smile proudly, happy that his doubts been proven wrong. William and Ash then shake hands, the former congratulating the on his win and evolution. Ash thanks him, and after rescuing out, the trio will say bye to William and Don George, leave the Battle Club, and continue their journey. Sometime later, the group officially make it to Icerius Idiot. And after reaching the Pokemon Center, they surprisingly meet the gym leader Brycen with his partner Beartick. And surprisingly, much to Ash's shock, Isla and Hilda recognize him as a famous movie star who had the lead role in many movies. Surprisingly, he also recognizes all of them, even Ash, explaining that he's friends with Elisa, and she told him about them after he saw the musical with Hilda in it. However, he tells him he's taking a break from acting to do some more training for both battles and acting. They ask if they can watch, and he allows them. While watching, Hilda and Silent knows how he incorporates acrobatic movements like in the movies. Bryson admitted that it's a good way to train for both battles and movies. He's interested. Ash asks Bryson if he can join his training, and he accepts, but also asks Hilda to join. She's surprised, but he tells her that Elisa told her about her goal and would like to help her as well. Hearing this, Hilda agrees, and so with Croc and Mean Shell respectively, the two they try to copy Beartick and Bryce's movements, and while Ash and Mean Shell do well due to their athletic skills, Hilda and Croc don't do so well due to their lack thereof. Eventually, though, with a lot of trial and error, they do manage to catch up. Silent even evaluating the ball, everyone's growth, and Beartick's bond. After training, Bryson gives Hilda some advice, saying acting can help with modeling by conveying emotions and building a stronger on-camera presence. After everything is said and done, Bryson says farewell to the group and heads off to the gym and to get ready for Ash's challenge tomorrow. Ash and Hilda thank him with a boost in confidence. Both are motivated to reach their respective goals. The next day, the trio arrives at the gym, and Ash is ready for the gym battle. But as soon as he steps in, he's taken aback by how cold it is. And after slipping on the ice battlefield, they reunite with Bryson. Bryson welcomes them all and accepts Ash's challenge. Now they're getting his position, the battle begins, and it's a 3-on-3, starting with Vanillish versus Dewott. The battle is tough, with Dewott showing off his new confidence and strength thanks to his evolution in the William battle. But Vanillish is not an easy target, because it floats in the air and has long-range attack, makes it hard for Dewott to land and get close. Ash tries to find a way around this, but then gets the idea. You have Dewott slide across the battlefield to confuse it, and then use Water Pledge, hitting hard. And with Vanillish dizzy, Dewott manages to finish the battle with a Razor Shell. But Eric is impressed and sends out Cryogonal. Dewott starts eyes to circle around it again, but it doesn't work. As thanks to Cryogonal's move Rapid Spin, it easily spins around. Round then getting the upper hand on Dewott. Hitting him multiple times. Dewott tries to stop it with Water Pledge, but Cryogonal spins in the way before the move can hit, and then uses Aurora Beat, which knocks Dewott out. Ash thanks Dewott, and then sends out Darmanitan. And immediately going for Fire Punch, but the Cryogonal defends a Reflect, and then goes for Rapid Skin again, confusing Darmanitan. He then goes for, however, he then goes for Frostbite, but Ash ends and use Rollout to defend. The two then have a Rollout and Rapid Spin clash, and it's pretty even despite their Reflect. During the clash, however, Ash gets an idea and tells Darmanitan to grab Cryogonal as soon as the Rollout ends and aim Flamethrower at its center. The plan works as Cryogonal takes lots of damage and is knocked out. Bryson once again praises Ash's skill and his Pokemon, and now eager to show more, sends out his final Pokemon, Beartick. Beartick is definitely a bigger beast. But Ash decides to end the battle now with a Rollout, but it's overpowered by Beartick's Focus Punch. Ash tries to have Darmanitan roll around the field with Rollout again, but Beartick reads its movements, and when it gets ready to strike, he tells Beartick to dodge and use Aerial Ace, shocking Ash and hitting Darmanitan hard. The two then use Fire and Focus Punch respectively, and both take damage that's even. Even Ash tries Flamethrower, but Beartick uses Run, powering through it and knocking out Darmanitan. With that, Ash sends out his final Pokemon, Krokorok. Both sides are eager for this matchup. Do get out. Despite the type disadvantage, Krokorok does pretty good, but Beartick is still a beast by the damage from Fire Blast. But the two do get out. Ash tries to use Stonehenge, however, and barely protects itself with Icicle Crash, and though it knocks the rocks back, at least 2 or 3 still hit. The battle goes on, but Bertic eventually gets the upper hand, and when Krara goes for a dig, using Focus Punch to knock him out of the ground, and then Brine causing massive damage. Krokorok is really weakened, but refuses to give up. Seeing Krokorok's determination, Ash tells Bryson that Krokorok won't give up because inspired by Pikachu, wants to get stronger by battling Pokemon it's weak against. Because of this, Ash Krokorok refused to lose. Bryson and Bertic urge Ash and Krokorok to use that passion to try and defeat them. Ash smiles and thinks of a plan, but then looks down and notices a chunk of ice that looks like Stone Edge, and he gives him an idea. He tells Krokorok to use Stone Edge, with Bertic once again fends with Icicle Crash. However, Ash holds for this and tells Krokorok to jump up and grab its ones using its tail. Krokorok does just that. Ash and grabs the stones in his hand. Bryson counters with aerial ace after overcoming the shock. The two strike mid-air. Here, land on the opposing trainer's sides, and after a pause, Bertic falls, winning Ash the battle and earning him the freeze badge. After the battle, Bryson held in silence congratulated Ash's win, with Bryson especially complimenting Ash's battling style. He thanks them and is super excited as he's now 1 badge away from the Unova League. When asked by his final badge from Bryson, Ash says he has no clue, so Bryson recommends the Opalucid, but since it's nearby and has a powerful agility, which would be perfect for Ash. Ash thanks him and the group decides to make it their next destination, but as they get ready to leave, a noise is heard from outside, so they head out to investigate. Once outside, they reunite with Alder, who was in the area, and so he had noticed some people heading to Dragonspiral Tower. So everyone heads to see what's up. So once they arrive, they see Team Plasma Grunt lined outside. Ash immediately goes to confront them and asks, "What's this about?" But they tell him that they're not here to fight, and said as they just want Ash. Confusing everyone, but they say that their king wants to meet him inside. Ash is initially distrustful of this, but his friends urge him, saying they'll be fine, see what they want. He wants. Ash wishes them luck and agrees, heading inside the tower. Once inside, Ash sees some more Team Plasma Grunts, who also don't raise any Pokeballs at him, telling him to meet the boss at the top. Ash climbs his way to the tower with Pikachu on his shoulder, or both with a turn and serious looks on their faces, and eventually they meet Anne at the top. Anne welcomes Ash with open arms, and the two stand on opposite sides. As Ash asks him, "What's the meaning of all this?" But Anne tells Ash asks Ash an important question: "Do you still intend to stop me?" Ash says, "Yes, absolutely. I won't let you in your truth, whatever you think it is, separate people in Pokemon. We're friends, and you can't take that away." And he's happy to hear that. But tells Ash he refuses. People in Pokemon will be separated if it's the last thing he does. Ash refutes this. Refuses, saying he will never let people like ants separate anybody from what they care about. The two continue arguing until suddenly their hearts combine. Well, not combine. Sorry, wrong word. I mean, sink hard until suddenly blue lightning and a flame fall down from the sky. As Ash and Anne look up, 2 rocks fall down to them respectively. Ash is confused, but then recognizes this rock from the dreams he's been having. And surprises and tells Ash he's had dreams of Pokemon calling these the Light and Dark Stones that hold the Pokemon Reshiram and Zekrom respectively, and that they've come to them at last. He then sends out Sigil. Sorry, my bad. And then sends out Sigilith. He prepares to teleport away, but not before telling Ash that he'll see him at the Unova League, and they'll both awaken their dragons and fight as equals. And leaves. Ash is shocked by all this, but then puts a stone in his backpack and heads back down to reunite with the group. Unbeknownst to him, however, gets another part of the tower heard everything and grins. On the other members of Team Plasma, saying Phase 1 of their plan is complete. Now let's start Phase 2. Back outside, Team Plasmers continue to block the door, but suddenly they hear their boss and and I'll leave. As Ash comes back outside, Ashton tells them everything that happened back in the tower, including about his dreams and the Darkstone. This shocks everyone. But Alder tells Ash that if he wants to know more about this, he must go to Opelucid City to meet Dre, and he'll know more about this. Ash is okay with this, saying this is where they plan to go from the start. Or Ash is Alder thanks them as he and Bryson head out to take care of some things. However, Ash now has a bigger reason to get his last gym badge, not only to make it to Unova win, but to stop and Team Plasma. And so separating people on Pokemon. While still totally shocked by them having the cat in the tower, Ash remains determined. He vows to awake Zekrom and stop N once and for all. And that's where we're going to end this part. So, hope you all enjoyed. Sorry for the goof ups and stutters. But I still hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you on the next part. Bye.